Now, well, let's just say that we have the so-called God Higgs, and if you'll allow it, McCabe, because I wrote about 92, but Higgs was in around the 60s or 70s. So we really can't claim something like that. Boson. Now, that boson is grounded in eternal time space datum, where all knowledge, planning, total energy that could actually remake itself into matter, in and out of matter. So maybe the way to do that is that if you're God and you want to launch something, you put it into from the static down through this vortex, and then somewhere at some point you hit what some people would like to call this the Big Bang, where the first electron materializes out of the Higgs particle and knows how to find a proton and further spin around that proton at about the speed of light. There's different shapes and radii and so forth, but we get that much. And it's a helix energy, which torsion, some people call it torsion, and that while it's in or of dark matter all over the place, it is energy of time. We actually think it's the time motion matter energy distributions, motion matter regime. So we can presume that I think that this is a motion of a chunk of static eternal time. And whoever, God, aliens, whoever you want to believe, does these kind of things. So the first electron finds that, and that becomes a hydrogen atom, trillions of trillions, and they are encrypted, actually, to become with whatever these encryptions are made of. I depict them as a little bumps, and I think Eric Lathwaite taught the word bumps, not in this particular sense, but in a gyroscopic sense. And this then begins its journey as matter back. Let's say ultimately it will hit the speed of light in an asymptotic, quick finalization approach. And I depicted this down here, where you're going to hit zero speed of c, because this is spinning about at c. So this is 2 times c, and I think this 2 times c exists in some equations. Maybe I heard about Einstein, I could be wrong in that. And now, so now you have your condensation down to the electron first atom, and then of course the Mendeleev table really happened fairly quick. And in fact, evolution really never did have the same kind of thing. All of evolution started in this one, I don't know what they call it, nanosecond. Maybe it's minutes, maybe it's hours, maybe it's years, that the whole table was formed. And that never changed, never changed. That actually is arrangements of the Mendeleev items changed, arrangements and joinings and so forth and so on. So okay, all that is happening from here to here, and this is Einstein's, I think, most of his idea of relativity, I think, not that I'm in his head. So from this so-called Big Bang, and now into, let's say, it's an expanding, so this is a condensing vortex, this is an expanding vortex, which ends up back into static time, and to be recirculated, like weather maybe. Somebody got one idea, it's not good to apply it to a few things, it saves a lot of physics thoughts. So basically that's what we're trying to say, that we have 4 motions, which is orbits, translations of orbits, and bending of the spin plane of orbits, which is gyroscopic, which is the secret. Then powered gyroscopics, where that is powered by either the spin of the galaxy, spin of the Earth, or just spin of a plain old atom. And that then is how these vortexes come about. I've watched it mechanically over and over again, where you just power precession and it goes into a spiral. And that could be called the DNA spiral. Once you got to this point, little motion here. And there was a guy named Royal Rife that figured out that the oscillations involved could be used. I'll just skip through this, it's not my intention here. And that you had oscillation motions that could be used to change DNA. He's the first guy who saw DNA, invented the electron microscope. So he had a lot of time to do that, and then he kind of got crushed by whatever forces existed. And they wrecked his machines, and he died an early death, I guess earlier than he should have. So all right, that's basically it. This is, to me, friendly atomic power. It's the basis, and it's again these four motions with a fifth motion that these pieces of not only form matter, but they form knowledge torsions. And those torsions can be inserted or integrated into our orbits, and maybe the hypothalamus does it, and it converts it with the encryptions of knowledge, a plan of knowledge. So in order for this to even begin to happen, if you want to think that this is all random and there's no plan behind it, I think it's a little difficult to think. You can actually have random, but direction of the random oscillations or random actions. So, okay, that's my little version of the Higgs, and pardon the expression, McCabe boson.